There we go. We are live before 1 o'clock, thank God. It was a close one today. I tell you, it was a close one. I came back from the charity shop at 12:30 and I thought, I've got to get lunch because by the time Thursday Talks is done, it'll be blooming past 2 o'clock and I'll be blooming starving. So I had to wolf down some lunch, I had to cook it up, and I managed to get here on time. Doesn't look like we've got any viewers yet, but that's okay. I will go into... I'll go and pop the chat up if I'm not even on it. One sec. I'm not organised. I'm never organised. Why? I used to be such an organised person. But I will. Oh no, there's 9 watching. Oh, it's come up live on my current streams. Woo! It's all fancy now, YouTube. We've got a lot to talk about again today, so you know it's gonna be a choppy one. But you know that's how it always is. One sec, we'll just get this chat up, get this chat popped up. Hopefully it'll be all right. Looks like a few people are in anyway now, which is good, but just got to get that chat up. There we go. There the live chat pops up. We've got Neil in there. We've got Globe Blast. We've got Kirsten in there. We've got Dr. Doodle Doo. We've got Peter Ray. We've got Will You Take Less? We've got John. We've got Kaylee. We've got Paul. A lot of the regulars in there. Nice to see. I need to still draw up that list of all the regulars for the giveaway. I've still not done it. I've got names in mind of who I know are definitely going to be put forward for the giveaway, but there's other people that I forget about. You know, there's other people that I forget watch the channel regularly, and maybe they don't like comment loads or be in the live chat loads, but they are there quite regularly, and you just miss the names. But yeah, I've got to make sure that's all right. So we've got a lot to talk about. I wanted to talk first about Defects, eBay Defects, because there was a post this morning that I participated in. It was either on the chat group or it was the UK Reselling group, one of those two groups. I'm not sure which one. But it was in one of them two groups, and it was about late delivery defects. And someone had basically said that they had got quite a run-up in late delivery defects, and they've now lost the top-rate seller, or they already lost the top-rate seller a while ago, and now they're trying to get back to, I believe it's under 3% now for late delivery if you're a top-rate seller. I think it's changed over to 3%. Anyway, I'd have to double-check, but it did used to be 4%. But I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to talk about Defects because I've battled over the past since I've become a reseller with Defects, and with being top rated, and I've been top rated, I've been out of top rated, I've been top rated again, I've been out of top rated, now I'm top rated again, and I've been top rated for a few months now, and I think this is like the longest period I've held it for. I've probably pretty much all of this year I've been top rated as far as I know. So I'm quite happy with that. That annoying seller case closed without seller resolution defect the other week, that was very annoying because I thought, oh my God, that'll probably take me out of being top rated, or if not, it'll be very close to doing that. But luckily, as I say, I got that resolved, so that was pretty cool. But I wanted to talk about Defects because I thought, you know, I never really think about any new, fresh topics to talk about on this channel. Like, I know that Defects aren't fresh or new, but I've not really talked about them on Thursday Talk, so it's kind of fresh and new to this show. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I mean, I wanted to talk a little bit about the late delivery defects. I wanted to talk a little bit about how you can avoid defects and stuff like that, and obviously ways you can get them removed and things like that. And just have a bit of a discussion with you guys in the chat as well. And I'm sure you will participate anyway, as you always do. So the chat has already jumped. The chat has already jumped. Right, one sec. Hi, Derek says, hi, got a neg removed this morning, took a phone call, 2 live chats, 3 emails to eventually get them to remove it. Worth persisting if you know you are in the right. It is definitely. I've got defects removed. Like I think I've got about 3 defects removed over the 2 years I've been reselling. I've not really had that much cause to get a lot of defects removed. Like some just, you know, people in the right and it's either my fault or whatever. Sometimes they obviously just go off the system after a certain period, and then you don't need to get them removed. But generally, I've not had many times where I've fought a defect and got it removed, and so as I say, probably about 3 times. But yeah, it's one of those things that if you do persist and you know you're in the right, you've got to just keep going and get that removed, because you know, if you're in the right, you can't leave that and just have that on your account, because it's like a burden. It's like a weight on your shoulders. If you know you're in the right, you've got to try and persist and get that removed. But that actually leads me on to obviously ways you can not just avoid defects or negative feedback, but actually get them removed. To get them removed, if you don't know, I'm sure a lot of people in the chat will know this anyway. There's a lot of the people who watch me have been reselling for a similar time to me, if not longer than me. But for those of you who are watching who may be a bit newer to reselling, phone eBay up, explain the situation, all that sort of stuff, and be honest, be frank with them. If you know you're in the right, then you know you shouldn't have any reason to lie anyway. So you know, be honest with them, be frank, be as descriptive as you can, and try and help them in resolving it as well. Not just, you know, don't just lay out the facts. Maybe try and I don't want to say persuade them, because that's the wrong word, but try and be helpful. That's the word. Try and be helpful in seeking a resolution with them, even if that resolution is not in your favor. Try and be helpful with that. So when you're on the phone with them, when you're on the live chats, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that is that. Where are we? Hi peeps, will only be in this chat for 10 minutes. That's Peter A. So enjoy it as of out to get the job. Oh, right, okay. Steve is in there. Hi ads. Oh no, something fell off. Natalie resells. I just don't put tracking number on eBay. Dodge the defects. How do you mean I don't put tracking number on eBay? Oh, right. Okay, I don't know about that. The way my sort of postage system is set up, the way like I buy postage and stuff, it automatically puts the tracking number in there for me. I think I kind of get what you're saying, but I don't know. I've done it that way because that's how it's set up. Like with my Hermes account, it automatically puts tracking on, you know, on my eBay sales record or whatever it's called. But yeah, that is one thing that was mentioned in the post. It was basically they were mentioning the fact. I mentioned the fact. I was having a chat with this guy called Stephen. I forgot his last name, but I've seen his face on the groups and stuff anyway. But I was having this chat with him in the post, and I basically was saying, you know, I think it's just another reason towards sending everything tracked these days, or as much as you possibly can tracked. Because I still send quite a lot untracked, you know, Royal Mail, second class untracked. I do still send a lot that way. I sell more via Hermes now, you know, I send out more via Hermes now, but also I do a lot of the Royal Mail untracked. I do some Royal Mail signed for, but I don't think that's actually tracked. I have looked on the website and I've read into it and stuff, but I think it's just signature. Obviously, it's signature confirmation when they get the parcel, but that doesn't mean it's tracked, you know, from one place to another. So obviously, we scan it in. If you go with a signed for parcel, like a pre-printed label from Click and Drop, if you go to your local post office, they'll scan it in at the local post office. So that's what they do for me. So obviously, they've scanned it in at that place, so they know that you've taken it in to the place. And then if it's signed for at the customer, you know it's been delivered. So you know it's been sent out. eBay would know it's been sent out, and eBay would know it's been delivered. But, you know, still, it's not completely tracked. So I don't know about that. But yeah, I think Hermes is for me with a lot of the stuff I sell, Hermes is fine. I've not had any issues with it. When we talk about Hermes, we do get into that area of, you know, is it a great courier service? There's been a lot of stories and stuff like that, but I can only tell you my personal experience with it, and it's tracked. It's a good service. I've not really had any issues with it, maybe one or two little issues, but never anything really big. So that's my sort of experience with it, and I would say, you know, if you want to start getting everything tracked, maybe go down that Hermes route a little bit more. It might be what I'm doing a little bit more. Or the other thing is, if you've got higher value items, don't bother with Royal Mail or Hermes. Use like DPD, is it Interlink Express, or, you know, use a you know, real high, sort of like the high end couriers or whatever. Or I don't know what the others are, like TNT. I've not really looked into TNT much, but I think it's okay. Or I don't know about FedEx either, but there's loads of them out there. You'll have to do some more research yourselves. But yeah, it certainly is leaning towards, with this late delivery thing, going tracked. So then you've got that there as a backup. You know, because you can then say, look, I sent it out on time. I mean, you've always got, with Royal Mail, you've always got proof of postage. And if you keep your proof of postage, then that will prove that you did take it down to the post office and send it out on that date. And then it's kind of out of your hands and it's towards Royal Mail. And then if you were to contact eBay to get a late delivery defect removed, and you could prove that you sent it out, then really they should remove that defect, because that parcel is out of your control. It's in Royal Mail's control now. So it's a bit of an unfair defect if they weren't to remove it like that. But I've heard also on my post, I heard that a lot of people were able to get late delivery defects removed for this, you know, for basically any cause, you know, because in one respect, it is quite, you know, postage and sending things is quite out of our control, really, once we've sent it. So for us to get knocks for that quite a lot, it is a bit annoying. You could say it's a little bit unfair, unjust, that sort of stuff. But I'm all right with it. I mean, I think, touch wood, my late delivery defect is under 1%, 0.8 something, I think. Now, it was higher a while back, but then obviously more, you know, you get more and more sales and then it knocks it back for you. And that's what, you know, basically more good sales, more successful sales that happen, it decreases that defect rate down and down. So that's kind of what's happened for me. But it was higher, you know, it was higher, my late delivery, and I was getting a bit worried about it. But yeah, luckily I'm now back in a position where I'm all right with it again. And same with my defect rate, it's fine. So basically, basically with defects, it's about constantly looking on your account. Well, maybe not constantly, but every few days or once a week at least. Look on your account, see what your defects are. Am I all right? All this sort of stuff. It's about making sure that you know, you're doing everything correctly. You're abiding by eBay's policies, all that sort of stuff, and you shouldn't have any trouble with it, really. It's only those who are really maybe trying to bypass eBay's policies or doing things that maybe shouldn't do, maybe out of ignorance or whatever. But obviously eBay won't know you're doing it out of ignorance, and eBay probably wouldn't care if you're doing it out of ignorance, because it's one of their policies at the end of the day. And you know, they'll just give you a defect for it. You know, they're not gonna say, oh well, you were ignorant to that, so it's okay. You probably wouldn't, you know, remove a defect for that if you were just ignorant to a policy. They may give you a warning if they find out that you are, you know, and I've had warnings in the past where you're not abiding to a policy, and then they give you a little warning in an email saying, look, if you need to do this, this, and this. And although a lot of people don't like getting those warnings, they certainly serve their purpose, because they put you on the straight and narrow, and you think, actually, I didn't realize that, and now I need to do this. And I do think those warnings serve a purpose. Sometimes they will just give you a defect for whatever it is, you know, whatever policy you broke, or I don't know, whatever it be, you know, whatever the situation may be. A sale might not have gone through correctly or something. You know, there's loads of different ways you can get a defect. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about that anymore, because I've just rambled for 10 minutes on that. But yeah, let's just get a few little comments in the chat, see what everyone else is saying, and then I'll move on. Oh wow, Stephen says, I do a 5-day dispatch time now and set it as second class, even though it goes first class, so I can have more time to do sourcing rather than being stuck in the house every day. This is the big thing, dispatch time. You know, 1 day, same day, 2 day, 3 day. What are people's thoughts on this? You know, like changed over a while back to 3-day dispatch time, and now I've changed back to 2-day. The reason I changed to 3-day dispatch time was because I saw that late delivery creeping up, right? And I thought, oh my God, but I didn't even realize it because I was sending things out on time and stuff like that, but I didn't understand why that was going up. But I then thought, right, well, what I'll do is I'll set it to 3-day, but I'll try and post out, you know, same day, next day, and hopefully that late delivery defect will go down. And it did. That happened, and now I've changed over back to 2-day. But the thing is, when I was on 3-day dispatch, I didn't really notice, you know, see a decrease in sales. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. You could maybe even get away with 3-day dispatch time and still get a decent amount of sales, because as I said, when I was doing it, I didn't see a decrease. But yeah, I don't know about 5-day. How are you finding sales on 5-day? Because 5-day might be quite a long time, because people, the problem about dispatch time is people more and more these days want it now. And if you've got, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5-day dispatch time, they're going to probably just pay an extra quid to the person who's got a same-day dispatch time or next day, because they just want it now. That's all people want, now. Very, very impatient world we live in now because of the internet, because of eBay and Amazon and online retailers, and even like shopping online, doing your food shop online, and then it can get delivered within hours to your door. People are very, very impatient. People, I think, are also a little bit more lazy. I mean, I'm not saying generally, but there are certain people out there who are more lazy now because of the internet, and because and they think, well, I don't have to go out, so I'll just get it because I can get it online. And that brings up another debate about you know, obesity and health and all that sort of stuff. And then you're going into, well, because of the internet and because of people buying things online and sitting about more and watching screens more, they're getting fatter, which then puts a strain on the NHS, which then means that the healthcare could suffer, and all. And then you're getting into a big political healthcare debate, and we're not going to do that. But all these things are all linked. They're all linked, you know. And the internet is a big part. It's a massive, massive benefit, but there's also drawbacks to it. But yeah, I don't know how I've gone from eBay defects to NHS and healthcare. But anyway, you know what my shows are like. You know what my shows are like. So general week. I wanted to talk a little bit about my general week. So I went to the cabinet on Monday. I paid my extra money for the next month, and I had a look round the antique centre again. Oh, and also, sorry, when I was at the cabinet, I basically said to the lady who's running it, well, not running it, but like, well, she runs it on behalf of someone else who is the owner of like I don't know whether the owner of the building or whether they actually rent the building off another person up the chain, but basically she runs it. This lady runs all the cabinets on behalf of this other person. So I asked her, you know, could I put my name on a waiting list to be inside the antique centre and not on that corridor stretch. What I did was I also went round the antique centre and really did proper recon like I was doing before, but I really wanted to get this right as well this time to see what prices were what. And I saw that a couple of my items may have been slightly overpriced for what they were and for comparison with other sellers inside the antique centre. Other items were bang on trend, you know, bang on price. So basically, I decided to reduce quite a lot of my items, and see, because I'm totally aware that I've got still decent profit margins in it. That's not an issue. These things cost me very little in auction job lots and stuff, so it's really not an issue. I just wanted to aim high for the first month to see. And then basically what I'll be able to assess is really in the next month or two, I'll be able to assess whether it's location or prices. I am confident it's not my items. My items are good items, strong items, you know, items that people will want to collect, items that people will want for home decor and things like that. I'm confident on my items. So it's got to be location, because I'm outside of the antique centre in the corridor and not inside where really I need to be, or it's price. Now, having reduced my prices recently, I'll be able to find out in the next month whether it is actually my prices. if things start selling, then I'll actually know that it was more my prices and less the location, and actually things are selling out in the corridor. But if nothing sells, I'll be confident it's not my prices because I've reduced them further and I'm happy with where I've got them now. And I'll realise that actually it's probably location and that I need to be inside the centre. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get inside the centre. I'm going to leave my prices the way they are. I may add a few different items into the cabinet to spice things up a bit. And we will wait for the first sale. And I will be sure of it then that I will get some sales then, because I've basically knocked off, it's the science of deduction. I've knocked off everything that could be a factor for me not getting sales. So then the only thing left to happen is you get sales. And then there's going to be 1 week on Thursday Talks when I'm going to be very cocky and very like, oh, and I said this the other week, oh my God, I've got a sale, and I'm going to be really, really cocky and in everyone's face because I got 1 measly sale. But anyway, that's okay. I'm really happy with that. I'm happy with my plan with it. So yeah, that was my cabinet. Generally, I've not done a video in 7 days. Last Thursday was my last video. The reason being is because I've just been listing. So I wanted to say that I've been listing quite hard. I've been doing a lot of work. I've been getting a lot of that pile listed. I've been trying to do over 10 listings a day. Now, bear in mind, my listings are usually over that £10 plus postage range, or minimum £10 plus postage, unless I'm doing some 99p or 4.99 auctions, right, on that given week or that given day. But one day I managed to get 18 listings done, so that's cool. I think the value of those were about £330 worth of value, so that was pretty good, which is like almost 20 quid a pop, so that was pretty good average selling price. I got 15 done on 2 consecutive days, on Monday and last night. I got 10 done on Sunday. I believe it was 10 or maybe 12. Well, I'm quite happy with that. And then I'm going to try for about 15 again tonight. I've already got the photos on my phone. So yeah, listing's been going well. If you can't really, I don't think you'll be able to see. Let me just pull you up here. Let's just do a little bit of a thingy. All right, so there's boxes there, and then there's a load of boxes on my bed, quite a lot of boxes on my bed. You won't be able to see it very well, but I've got, and it goes too deep on my bed. Basically, it goes like this row, and then there's another row behind it, but you can't see. But this is all my Amazon FBA stuff, so this is the fun stuff. I love doing this. I love doing this, because, you know why I love doing this? Because a lot of it is Lego, and I like Lego, even though it is sealed Lego, and I'm not going to be playing with it. But a lot of it is Lego, which is a bad... It's like this. It's like this. It's like this. It's like, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? I ended up punting a bit of money on some Lego, RA and stuff like that. And some bits have failed, other bits haven't failed, other bits have done well. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Actually, it leads quite nicely on to the next topic I'm going to talk about. But no, but I've punted on some Lego. As I say, some bits are okay. Other bits I'm now restricted in, which is a major thing, because now I'm not going to be able to get the profit I would have been able to get on Amazon opposed to eBay. I'm going to have to sell them on eBay. The good thing is, with the Lego, I diversified. I didn't get more than 3 of one set. No, I didn't get more than 5 of one set. Sorry, because I've got a few mini sets here that I got 5 of. But I also wanted to talk about Lego investing. Lego investing. A lot of people will say Lego investing is dead. You know, 5-10 years ago, yes, invest. Goes up in value like crazy. Well, I've got one example here of why I don't think Lego investing is dead per se, but why I do think it is harder. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, just want to say that's also what I've been doing. Well, what I'm getting on with this week. The FBA, you know, big shipments going out. Really excited. You know, a lot of value in there. I couldn't even tell you how much money is in this stuff, like sales value. I couldn't even tell you what I've got invested in it, like, you know, actual like bought value. I just know that when I bought the things, there's profit on it, because what I generally do is I don't speculate. So I buy things when, well, actually, okay, I've speculated on a couple of these things, but I don't speculate on the general sense. So what I mean by that is in June, right, if I buy a Lego set, if I buy a sealed board game, if I buy this or if I buy that, I want there to be meat on the bone there and then, right? And then if it goes up in Q4, I've got more profit, right? What I don't do is I don't speculate. I don't buy something for 15 quid that currently sells in June for 20 quid on Amazon FBA in the hope that it will go up to 35 quid. Now, I did talk about this I've just realized I did talk about this in a video a few weeks back. And I said, shouldn't I do it? I said to you, I don't really do that, but I've got an option now. I've got a product that I could do it with. Well, that product is null and void now because the price has gone down a bit on Amazon. I'm like, well, no, I'm not speculating with that one. So there are a few other products I'm looking into to speculate on, but I always buy it with meat on the bone at the time. And then if it goes up in value in Q4, that's great. It probably won't go, most of the things I buy won't go down in Q4. If anything, will go up. So as long as there's meat on the bone in June, then I know that there's definitely going to be meat on the bone in Q4. But I never do the speculate to accumulate thing in my reselling. However, I did do it with a few sets, right? And this is what I'm going to say. This is why I don't think Lego investing is dead, right? So I'll show you this set here. It is set 760363. It is a Mighty Micros set. It is DC Comics superheroes, Mighty Micros, The Flash versus Captain Cold. We don't normally put the names on the sets in the UK, so it's nice to put the names on the sets. I bought 5 of these from Sainsbury's. I am thinking I got them at 33% off. It was £9 retail, but I did get them at a discount. I just can't remember whether I got them at 5 quid or 6 quid. It was one of the two. It was either £5 or 6 quid. I know I didn't pay retail though. I know there was some sort of discount there. But it wasn't a 50% off, not quite. But I got 5 of them, and at the time I think they were selling for, and this was like back in January or whenever, these were just about to retire, so obviously that's why they were on discount at Sainsbury's. And I bought 5 of them, knowing very well I couldn't make a profit, or I could make like £1 on each one back in January. That set right there, now it used to be like 10, 11 quid or whatever when I bought it, right? So it was like a quid there. Probably no profit actually, probably maybe even a net loss if I sold it. And I put them away, and I thought, you know what, I'll just leave them for a bit. And bear in mind, it's only been like nine months or so since I actually got these on Amazon. These are selling for 19 quid with a fairly good sales on in toys and games. I think it's like 40,000, 19 quid. So I'm really happy with that. So that's why I'm thinking Lego investing isn't dead. Now I know that isn't the kind of profit margin that, eBay is eBay non-RA kind of guys like myself are looking for. But when you're doing RA like that, you've got to look at a slightly lower profit margin. So 6 quid into 19 quid, I'll take that with something like that, with an RA type purchase like that. But I got 5 of them, and I thought, yeah, that's cool. Similarly, here's a really bad mistake with investing in Lego. Again, luckily I only got about 2 or 3 of these. This is the Easter Chick. It was released in 2016. It's 40202. And this on on Amazon there is FBA offers from $6.99 new and sealed. This set retailed for £8.49. Right, £8.49 on eBay. This is actually one of the only things I've ever seen. Bear in mind, I don't really constantly look for this, but I have only really ever seen go for more on eBay than Amazon. Like, I don't see things go for more on eBay than Amazon. Obviously, your vintage items will, because they're not even on Amazon. But, in terms of like Lego sets and things like that, it's always Amazon is the top price. But yeah, so that goes for like 12 quid on eBay. If I waited a little bit, I'll be able to get about 12, 13 quid for that. I paid $8.49 for it. I paid retail price for it. In the hope that I thought, yeah, that'll go up. That'll go up. So that was a fail. That was an absolute fail. But here's the difference. These Mighty Micros, these had a lesser shelf life than this set here. So this set was in the stores still in 2017. This came out in like, I think I remember when it came out. It was about February 2016, just before Easter, if not even a bit less. So that was out for like well over a year. Only just got discontinued not long ago. That one, I'm pretty sure that wasn't in the shelf, on the shelf for long. And a lot of these battle packs, Star Wars battle packs, and a lot of these smaller sets didn't used to be on the shelves for as long as they are now. I don't even think that the battle pack from last year, or even like about 1 year, 6 months ago, is retired yet. The Star Wars battle pack, I forgot what it's called. Forgot what the battle pack is called, but it was been on the shelf for a lot longer. Now, 2, 3, 4 years ago, the battle packs weren't on the shelf for that long. Therefore, they'd go up in value quicker. I mean, you look like the Imperial Troop Transport. Not the Imperial, is that the right one? Yeah, I think it's the Imperial Troop Transport. I think it's Lego set 75078. Don't know whether that's the exact name, but I know that that is the exact number. That one on Amazon is like 25 quid, something like that. And obviously it retailed at 12 quid. If you got it 50% off, 6 quid, you're in money there, aren't you? And that went up in value. Now, the battle packs more recently, they haven't gone up in value as much. But I think if you get certain right things, and it is taking a punt, but if you get certain right things and you pay 50% off retail and you're willing to wait a year or so, you can make some money. Now, that is Lego investing. That is long-term investing. You can also wait 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. I'm not saying this is a good business model. I'm not saying this makes a good business, but for casual investing, and I want to get on and talk about the SNES Mini as well. But first, I'll show you these. These I'm restricted in on Amazon. I believe I paid 8 quid for these at the time. They go for 20 quid on Amazon, which isn't bad, right? But I'm restricted in them now. So that was the one that I was annoyed because I'm restricted in. But most of the stuff, I'd say I've scanned through it all again. I'd say maybe 10% I'm restricted in, maybe even a little less. So I'm quite happy. There's still going to be some great money there in Q4. But, you know, these restrictions are slowly creeping in. I'm hesitant to think whether next year, I mean, I was hesitant this year. I honestly thought this year, I'm not going to be able to sell any Lego. I'm not going to be able to sell any toys and games. That's it for Amazon this year. I've kind of took a risk in buying a lot of stuff for Amazon. And I've paid up for bits because obviously to get bigger returns on Amazon. But if I get restricted in that item, then it falls back to eBay. I won't make profit because I paid up to get those items to make an even bigger return on Amazon, right? So that was a bit of a risk. Luckily, as I say, I've scanned through it all. Not loads of it I'm restricting, but I think honestly it's coming at the time when it's going to be hard. It's going to be really, really hard. And I do think next year, well, even this year coming, you know, like January of next year, I need to be thinking, right, I've got to have a different strategy for Amazon. But leading on to the SNES Mini, I'll just have a look in the old comments. Oh yeah, sorry, do I need to take a breath? Ads, how is your blotter? Blotter? Oh, Gary says, yeah, I put it on. They're amazing what they go for. They go for like 40 quid. That's crazy. Everyone has them on for like 40 to 50 quid. I don't know what mine was. I think it was like it was quite an old one. It was really nice design. I don't know what they said it was called, the style Art Nouveau or Art Deco. I don't know. I've got to check what I've got it listed as, but I know that we went for about 40 quid when I was listing it. So yeah, pretty cool. So I've got that on for quite high. I don't know whether it'll sell at that, but that's what I've gone off, you know, off solds and stuff. Once you start, you are more likely to carry on listening. Oh, what's this here? If you set yourself a target of 5 listings a day, if you feel like doing more, then do more. I find the hardest part is getting started. It is very much, yeah. It's hard to get started. It's hard to get going with your listing. Now, what I've found over the past 4 or 5 days of listing is I've listed a fair few each night. And then the next night, it's easier to get started because I'm just taking it as given. I'm taking it as given, like, you know, like I did 18 last night. I'm motivated to get some listings done tonight. because I did 18 yesterday. I know it's kind of weird, but if you have a break, if you list like sporadically, so you list one night, then you have 2 days break, then you list another night, which I have done before. But if you do that, you find it harder on that day, on that, you know, couple of days later to get back into listing. If you do it every night, or well, I say night because I list at night. I don't list in the day. I like listing at night. But if you do it every day, let's say that. So you do it every day, then it becomes easier, and then you can just get into the flow and get into the flow. But when you have these like days where you're not listing, like, you know, you're having like 3 days break. It's not so bad 1 day break, but like 3 days break, and then you have to get into it again. Like, oh my God, you know, it's like the hardest thing in the world. Let's see the chat. Have you sold the lovely mirror from the last haul? No, I haven't. It is listed though. I did get it listed. I think I've got it on at like, I think I've got it on for 30 quid, you know, or 25, 30 quid. And I think it's worth that, to be honest. I do. I think 30 quid is a decent benchmark for that. I don't know whether I've got any interest in it, though. That is, by the way, that's just a random figure I pulled out the air. That might not be what it's worth. It might be worth more. It might be worth less. But that's what I've just chosen to list it at. It's like makeupprice.com. Right. God, there's loads of talking here. Loads of talk in the chat. To buy it in the first place, I should try to. I get postal collections every day at 5 p.m. I post up until 4:30 most days. Yeah, I've posted at about 3 o'clock before because my post office does free collections. We do like 11:30, 12 o'clock. We do a 3 o'clock collection, and then we do like a 5, 5:30 collection. So yeah. I posted at like 3 o'clock before, and that's cool. With Hermes, I think you've got to watch it. I actually don't know. I've never looked into what time they collect. The courier comes in to collect. I'm inclined to say it's in the morning. I'm pretty sure that the courier just comes in once a day in the morning. I think it's about 11, something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But I've never looked into what time the courier for Hermes comes into the shop. Now, I normally post my Hermes. Well, sometimes it's in the morning, other times it can be afternoon. So most of the time it'll be in the morning though, but sometimes it's in the afternoon. But if the courier, unlike Royal Mail, if I sent my item with Royal Mail, it would go out that same day because there'd be a collection at 3 or 5 o'clock. But if I send it in the afternoon with Hermes, and if I am right in thinking that the courier only picks up at, just before lunchtime, then I've missed that day, and then it goes the next day. So I think that's something you've got to watch, but you'll have to check the Hermes website or somewhere, have to check some reference point, because I'm not a valid source of information for that, because as I say, I don't know, I'm just guessing. But I did hear it off a few people, I think, that that's the case. Glitter Sunflower says, I love Lego. Nothing new to list, was cleaning a Kenwood Premier Chef, cost 60, hopefully for 170. That's awesome. That's what Gary says. Hard to see an Easter set increase. Oh, there we go. One sec. Hard to see an Easter set increasing in price to the run up to Christmas. Be fair. No, I know. I don't know. I don't know what I thought. I was like, I buy a lot from Lego Shop at Home, or I used to buy a lot from Lego Shop at Home. And I just buy it because, especially a year ago, it was even like just a year ago, it was easier. The prices would go up more on Amazon. Like the last Easter set, it went up more. I mean, it's called Painting Easter Eggs. It's gone down in value now, but there was a time where I was selling them for profit. I was buying them from Sainsbury's at like 50% off, and I was able to make a profit on them. Now, I'm okay sharing this information now because you can't get them. They're discontinued now. But it's sort of about buying price, and that's what so many people say. The profit is made when you buy it, right? If you buy something at 50% of retail and it's worth X amount, you've already locked your profit in. If you buy it at retail and it's worth X amount, you've already locked your profit in. If, however, you are a long-term investor, you could go down the Lego aisle, buy every set, put them away for 10 years, and you're pretty much guaranteed a profit. Now, whether that, you've got to have the capital to do that. Whether you want your capital tied up for that long is another thing. But that's why I've always been quite bullish and quite strong on buying Lego, because I always think, well, it doesn't matter if it doesn't make me a profit this year. I'll just wait a few years, and then, so I'm kind of like in that long-term investor mindset with things like Lego. And I'll get onto the SNES Mini now. When the SNES Mini came out, I heard everyone, this is what everyone thinks. I thought the exact opposite. Everyone was thinking, how quick can I flip it? What can I flip it for, right? How many can I get? I'll send them up to Amazon, or I'll sell them merchant fulfilled on Amazon, or I'll sell them on eBay or wherever, and I'll make a quick profit on it. And then, you know what everyone started saying? This is exactly true. Everyone started saying, there's no money in them. This is what I've heard on gaming groups and reselling groups and all that sort of stuff. There's there's not much money on it. It's not going to be as good as the NES Classic and stuff. That may all be true in the short term. See how I look at it? I think to myself, I might buy a SNES Mini for 120 quid, that someone's just put up on eBay or wherever, and pay the premium. Because how much, and this is a question I want to ask you guys, out of the gamers of you guys, and I've got it wrote down here in bold, I've got it wrote down, what do you think a sealed SNES Mini will be worth in 50 years time? Now, I am well aware that you've got risk. You've got risk of a fire in your, where you're storing it. You've got risk of a flood. You've got risk of platforms dying out like eBay and Amazon and not being able to sell them in 50 years time because eBay and Amazon aren't there or whatever. You've got the risk of the market not being there, the gaming market not being there. I highly doubt that's going to be a thing in 50 years. I think the gaming market will still be there in 50 years time. You know why? Because video games were evolving. Video games are turning over to digital, right? And that makes tangible consoles even more valuable in the long term, because these kids who have been brought up on the intangible stuff, maybe them thinking, actually, I want to build a collection of X, I want to build a collection of Y. And also, these SNES Minis, how many do you think get opened up? How many do you think get used every year? I honestly think that in 50 years' time, these things are going to be big. These things are going to be a hot investment. These things are going to be worth a fair bit of money. Now, I can't predict at all what's going to be happening in 50 years. I might be way off. I might be completely down the toilet. I might be, what are you talking about? It's going to be crap. All the kids are going to be digital. They won't even care about those consoles. But I think, actually, it is going to be a fairly decent investment. Now, that's not to say that you can't make money in the short term with them. And that's not to say that it's bad to flip them in the short term. Or it's not to say that why don't you just wait a year and flip them next Christmas, right? That's all well and good. I'm thinking in the long-term investment mode. Right now, I'm not a reseller. I'm a long-term investor. I like to think things 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road. Now, the one thing you have, if you flip them, say you have 2 or 3 SNES Minis now, and you flip them for money, and then you buy something else, and you flip that, then you buy something else, and you flip that for money, then you buy something else, flip that for money, then in 50 years' time, I can guarantee this, you will have accumulated more profit from flipping things than that SNES Mini is worth in 50 years' time. But what also have you done? You spent a lot of time, you spent a lot of effort doing that. So yeah, it's profitable, it's great, it's awesome in the short term, but with long-term investing, and this is why it appeals to me so much, with long-term investing, you don't have to do anything. You literally just buy it and put it on a shelf. You don't need to worry about flipping them fast. You don't have to worry about that. So I am going more to, I love reselling, and it's always going to be a part of what I do, but there's so much more long-term investments that I want to pursue as well. Property, things like that. And I am very much, it's kind of funny because I'm a short-term seller with reselling, it's short-term. You try and flip something quick, but I'm also, there's another side of my mind that is a long-term investor. So I can kind of do reselling as my job, but I also want a long-term investment on the side because I've got that kind of personality. But yeah, I wanted to say that because that was, you know, people are worried that there's no money in them. Trust me, there's money in them. Everyone's just worrying because Nintendo, after Christmas or whatever, will get more stock and then it'll flood the market or whatever and it'll go down to retail price. Well, yeah, but that's the short term. Have you not looked 5 years out? I mean, even look 5 years out how much they're going to be worth. You know, so long as Nintendo retire the product in within a few years, and then you wait a couple of years after that, they're going to be worth a lot of money. So I think people like worry a bit. I've seen a bit of worrying on these groups and stuff, and it's just unnecessary. And also, when I do like a long-term investment, when I put money into any investment, whether it's stock, cryptocurrency that I'm doing a lot of at the moment, whatever it may be, not necessarily reselling as much, but any investment that has a lot of risk. Reselling has risk, but it's educated risk, it's mitigated risk. With some other long-term investments, it's more high risk. But with anything like that, what I do is I say to myself, this is what I say to myself every time. And my mum thinks I'm mad for saying this. She thinks, why? Why did you? But whenever I put 500 quid into something, I tell myself, that money is dead to me now. That money does not exist. That is gone. If I lose that money, I don't care. That is gone to me. You know, but I will only ever put in, you know, disposable income. Disposable income. Never put in any money that, you know, you've got bills to pay with, anything like. Never do that. But with my disposable income, if I put 500 into something, a long-term investment or whatever, that money is dead to me. If it turns a profit in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, 2 years' time, whatever, great. I'll take that profit and I'll take my initial capital back. But, you know, it's dead to me. If it fails, it's dead to me. That's how I work. Now, it's a very, very, some would say, naive look at investing. It's a very stupid way of looking at investing. It's a very, I don't know, not a great way of looking at investing, but that's what I do. I say that money's dead to me. That's that. Now, that's not to say I just throw my money blindly into everything. That's not what I do. I do my research. I look at different things to be able to do my due diligence and really make sure I have got a fairly solid investment. But at the end of the day, once I make that deposit, once I put that money into whatever it is, that money's dead to me. Even if I'm 100% certain I'll get it back and more, you know, because I'm just that confident with my investing or whatever, I still say to myself that money's dead to me if I lose it. And it's weird. It is a weird way of looking at things, but that's what I do. So I wanted to talk about that anyway. I know I've bloody ranted loads, but yeah. Right, what else have we got here? Comedy short idea. I need to talk about that. I think that's about it for today. Open a sealed snares in 50 years time. Find they rotted away to nothing. Yeah, but surely I know that. I understand that they might have. They've probably not got. You know, the insides are going to be not great or anything. But I think it's just the people collect just to display half the time. That box, like, look at it this way, right? Boxes, like an NES box, an original NES box, is worth money because people either like to put the console in there to display it or just like the look of the box and like the look of displaying the box. That box is going to be worth a lot of money sealed. I'm sure of it. If that gaming collection is out there, you know, that gaming, what's it? You know, that gaming community is out there. I mean, as I say, I might be wrong. For all I know, I am wrong. But I'm not going to let 120 quid. You know, I'm not going to throw away maybe 500, 600 plus for the sake of 120 quid. I'm happy to spend 120 quid now just to see what it turns out to be in 50 years. Like, you know, I'll rock up to an auction house or whatever's available, whatever platform for sale is available in 2067. I'll rock up there with one and they'll tell me a value of it, right? Or I'll get a value, I'll assume a value on my own with the data available. And I honestly think it's going to be decent money, even if, you know, the contents aren't going to be great inside it or anything, because it's just the age factor. It's it's a fact that in 2067 will be a lot less tangible and more intangible. So then tangible assets become more valuable. Again, you see that with the housing market, you know, houses constantly going up in value. You know, it's a tangible asset. It's a very, very powerful fixed asset. So it goes up in value, you know, and there's more people being born, you know, population's increasing. Probably not enough. I don't know this. I'm just spitballing, but probably not enough houses being built at the same time as the population increasing. As I say, I'm not 100% sure on that. I'd have to, you know, fact check that. But that makes the value of property go up because of just simple supply and demand. And again, it's the supply and demand factor that, for example, this set here in 2067 will be worth a lot of money if there is Lego collectors still around. Because going off Adam Smith's principle of the invisible hand and supply and demand, you know, supply and demand, that is there's going to be very low supply of that set sealed in 50 years' time. Now, the market has to be there. The market has to be there. I have to stress that. If there's no Lego collectors in 2067, you're right. You know, I'm wrong. That will not be worth anything. It will not be worth anything because there's no market. But if by some miracle, the kids of these AFOLs now, adult fans of Lego, or, you know, the kids of the kids who are getting into Lego now, if they still continue loving Lego, which they quite possibly could, it's quite high likelihood, then that set, sealed condition, is going to be worth a lot. And that's the way I look at things. I look, because there's so many things, right, that people in the 60s and 70s didn't put away that are worth a lot now. Like, for example, a sealed Dennis Fisher, Tom Baker, Doctor Who action figure. What the hell is that worth now? Probably loads of money. It's worth loads of money used. So I'm trying to find the things now that I can invest in that are going to be the next thing of that, you know? That's the whole point of long-term investing, really, trying to find the next thing that's going to be big, you know, the next thing that, you know, is going to be that valuable item. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of hinting at. If I'm still around in 2067, I'll be 80. I know I'll be 71. I'll be 71 in 2067. I have Lego from 30 years ago. See, and what is that Lego worth now? From 30 years ago, it's going to be worth, you know, if it's a genuine set and you've got it boxed, it's going to be worth more than retail price. More than the retail price it went for. That's what I'm saying about the SNES Mini. That's what I'm saying about other things. Now, yeah, as I say, with the SNES Mini, it could go either way because of the contents. And it's the same with Crash Bandicoot, like PS1 game, or Spyro, disc rot. They're going to get disc rot, and then they're going to be useless, right? But I still think the packaging has got to be worth something if it's still intact. The packaging is still okay. Got to be worth something. Got to be, surely. I have, but not sure to sell boxed. Oh, well, if it's a boxed train set from 30 years ago, that's got to be good money in that. There's a lot of Lego train enthusiasts. There's a big market for that. So I imagine that's worth some money. There are sets that, like, just aren't worth money and that don't really appreciate in value. But, you know, things like, well, actually, no, this is a good example. That is a sealed set from 2012, so 5 years old. On Amazon, you can sell it for about 37 quid. I got it for 13 quid. On Amazon, you sell it for 37 quid, 106 in Toys and Games. So not a terrible rank, but not the best rank. But on Bricklink, on eBay, you're not looking that much above retail price. So there are sets that don't really go up in value. Yes, on Amazon, it goes for some good money because that's Amazon. You know, Amazon's always like the powerhouse for value. You know, there's things on Amazon that are worth 10 times as much as on eBay or 5 times as much as on eBay, just kind of the way it works. Don't know why, but people pay more on Amazon. But yeah, that's something that hasn't really gone that much above retail price on eBay, Bricklink, that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think on Bricklink it's about 18 quid, something like that. So there are sets, you know, but that's only 5 years old. You know, think about another 5 years onto that. The Lego community is definitely going to be around in 5 years, even if Lego goes bankrupt. And if Lego goes bankrupt, it'll probably spur even more people to come on because, or it will spur value to increase because they're not producing any sets anymore. So then you've only limited to the sets they've produced when they were in business. It's kind of like, what's it like? I know what it's like. We can look at the antiques trade for this. Potters that have gone out of business, or painters, artists that have died, their work, their artwork, or their pottery is usually, not always, but usually worth more because they're not doing any more of it. They've gone out of business, or unfortunately they've passed away. It's the same with things like that. I'm trying to think ahead of the game. I'm trying to think ahead of what people think and think to myself, right, if I really want to get ahead in long-term investing, I need to think in a different way. I need to think in, relate things to different things and bind connections together and see what could possibly be an outcome. But yeah, there is an iPhone 3 boxed on eBay, sealed for $3,000. There you go. I think that's another, that you could be onto something there, Paul, because yeah, sealed phones from this generation, they could be good money. There may be phone collectors. I mean, there already are phone collectors, but I'm talking more antique phones and things like that, Bakelite phones from like 30s, 40s, stuff like that. But I'm meaning there could be phone collectors in 2067 for now, for what is being produced now. And if you keep one of them sealed, how much is that going to be worth in 50 years? So yeah, that's a great idea. That's another one, you know, another thing that, another way of looking at it that could make you a lot of money, you know. And again, I'm sure you could make a lot more money if you just invested that money into stock and flipped it and flipped it and flipped it over the course of 50 years. But that takes a lot of work. If you just invest in something and just put it on a shelf, there's no work. So yeah, okay, you might be able to get more money, funneling that money back into your reselling business, but you're going to put a lot of time into it as well and a lot of effort. So I am thinking, you know, just a portion of my income, disposable income going towards these little ventures, just to see, it's just even for the fun of seeing in 50 years what things have taken off, what things haven't. Pretty cool. Yeah, sealed action figures is another one. The prices hold and go up in value. Very, very true. I've got a sealed 1999 Lara Croft Tomb Raider. It's like a shark set. It's got her action figure there and then like a big shark on it, and that's sealed. The guy I got it off actually said, don't sell it, hold on to it. But I have got it listed on eBay. But I've not really had much interest in it. But I think that I don't really care because I've got it on fairly high. And, you know, if it doesn't sell, I know that someone's going to want it, you know, at some point in the future. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's an action figure. But then again, it's an action figure of a game. I don't know quite how popular the game is. I think it's fairly popular, Tomb Raider, you know, amongst gamers. So, yeah, I mean, that could take off. I don't know. But I collect the McFarlane toys. Now, McFarlane Toys, is that the guy? Is that Seth MacFarlane who did the voice of Ted or wrote Ted? Did he do the voice of Ted? I don't know. Maybe he wrote Ted or something, but Seth MacFarlane. Oh, I know who he is. He's the guy out of Family Guy. He's one of the voices out of Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane, isn't he? But did he actually create that brand as well or not? Is that two separate people? I imagine it's two separate people, but I don't know. So yeah, that's about it for today. We're just coming up to an hour, so that's cool. Ads, nice sale on the pram. Was it, Daniel? Oh, did you see the pram? No, it was not a good sale. It was not a good sale, Gary. It really wasn't. Oh God, that's something I know. That is something else to talk about. I bought a Silver Cross pram from a charity shop for 30 quid ages ago. And I basically couldn't really store it anywhere. It then had to go in the garage for ages, and my dad got annoyed. And I was expecting like 60, 70, 80 quid on that pram. And I knocked it down, and it had watches and stuff, but it never really went. And I accepted an offer yesterday of 18 quid for it. Yeah, not so good. No, not so good. And I accepted an offer of 18 quid for it. just to get it out, because my dad's annoyed that it's been in the garage for so long. But I thought I was onto a winner with it. I thought, yeah, Silver Cross vintage pram. It wasn't a 50s one or anything, it was 60s. It was a 1987 like sort of reproduction, but it was still a very nice one. And honestly, I think I could have got 60 quid if I really held out, and you know, it might have sat around for a while, but I think I could have got about 60 quid for it. But I've reduced it down because my dad was saying to me, oh, you know, are you reducing that plumbing, getting out the garage, out of my way, and all that. And it was on for about, I don't know, 6 months or something. But I really wish you know, it'd gone for more. I really do. But you know, that's the thing. Some things, and I've told you this before, some things in reselling, it's not often I make a loss on things, but sometimes you have to do it. You have to take that, and it's annoying. But if I had more space, I wouldn't have needed to take a loss on that. I would have just kept it. I wouldn't have had anyone moaning at me. And oh God, what's she doing? And I could have sold it for 60 in the end and got a profit on that. But it's circumstance as well, you know, space and things like that. Not part of your 5-year plan. No, I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say that plan was part of my 5-year plan. As far from it as possible, probably. But no, I just bought it because it was there at the charity shop, and I thought, oh, that's got to be worth more than 30 quid. And you know, it is if you hold out. But you know, I didn't hold out because of circumstance. What are you doing, little one? What you doing? You're all right. Yeah, she's all right. She's had her operation on Tuesday. A little, you know, to get a spade. I just had a loss on some Pokemon cards. Won't be buying them again. Yeah, I mean, most of the things, like I would say once every 3 months, or more, maybe once every 2 months, I'll have something that I break even on. And that's because of a bad purchase or something like that. That's quite normal. And if it's only like limited to that, you know, once or twice every couple of months, you're kind of all right. Things that I even make a fail on, like, for example, sometimes I'll pick something up for a £5, it's only worth 15 quid. Well, that is a fail because you've not really made a really good profit margin on it, but you've not made a loss, so I wouldn't class it as a complete fail. But there are things that I pick up for 2 or 3 quid, and I can't even get that out of them. They're just complete flops, you know? So that's the luck of the draw sometimes. That's experience and stuff. And with me, oh God, what's she doing? And with me, I diversify so much. I really do. I diversify loads. And that it just comes with a territory. If you're going to diversify, you are opening yourself up to a little bit of risk because you're diversifying into areas that you don't know. You don't know what, for example, when I diversified into clothing, I didn't know what a Timberland shirt goes for, but I picked them up for 5, 6, 7 quid. Luckily, they go for about 20 quid, Timberland shirts, or at least they used to. And therefore, I made profit on it. But I didn't know that, you know. So when you're diversifying, there's always going to be things you break even on or whatever. What you doing, little one? I know she loves it. She loves it. There is a cat on your shirt. I know she. The thing is, right? I said basically to my mum, you know, before, I think this was before we got the cat, or even when we had the cat as well. But I said to my mum, I'm going to get a parrot at one point in my life because a parrot, if you don't know, I've talked about this before actually, so I'm not going to bore you with it, but it lives for a long time, let's just say that. So it can be your companion for life, and then you will have to leave it to someone in your will. Like, if I got a parrot now, it would outlive me, most probably, if you got like a scarlet macaw. And then you leave it to your son or your daughter or whatever in the will. But I wanted that because I thought it's so cool to have something on your shoulder. Well, Electra, it shows I've just picked, there was 5 kittens next door that were born, and I had 2 to choose from. And I definitely picked the right one, and she knows that it's like she knows that I want her to go on my shoulders, and she knows I want that, and that's why she just clambers up me half the time. What are you moaning at, little one? God, that was a loud meow. She probably wants some food or something. I better get off in a minute if that's what she wants. Unless there's someone at the door. Is someone at the door? No, I don't think so. I think that's more dogs that look for people at the door. But anyway, long adds silver. Pieces of tat, pieces of tat. Oh my god. Missed the first half, so we'll go back and watch the first half now. Oh, it's been a very rant one, hasn't it? I think, guys, I've been ranting about stuff today, about investments and bits and bobs. I need to get some stuff off my chest, you know? I look into a lot of different avenues of making money all the time. I always do, and it's something I've always done. And if you want to know what I've done, go back and watch the most boring episode of Thursday Talks ever, episode 75, in which I talk about from the age of about 12 to the age of the age I'm now, 21, of all the different money making ideas I've done. And I tell you, it's a lot. It's like 3 or 4 pages worth. So I do a lot of that, and I kind of need to have an outlet to talk about it a little bit. So that's why I sometimes talk about it or ramble about it. And I have a lot of thoughts in my head as well, so I kind of have to get them out. Thursday Talks is like, you know, a day at the psychiatrist or whatever. You know, it's quite nice. You know, just sit on your little bench, talk your woes. You know, and hopefully someone will give me a listening ear or whatever they say. I love a bit of cold tea. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, and then I'll get off. I have been waiting for you, Mr. Bond. Oh, that's the best one yet. I've been waiting for you, Mr. Bond. Although that would have been better if I was stroking it like that, but it was still good. Right. So you could have stored stuff in your pram. I did store stuff in my pram for a while. And you know, it was just hanging around for ages, you know, and my dad started to not like it and stuff like that, so I had to go, unfortunately. Right, so what was I going to say? Oh, do you want to go out? There you go, little one. Right, so the last thing I wanted to say very quickly is, yeah, comedy short number, is it number 4? I've had some ideas. I'm not going to tell you many of the ideas, but I will tell you the proposed name I've got for it. And I've had some ideas in my mind. Now, when you are a creative, or I wouldn't say I'm an artist or anything, but I'm certainly a creative person in terms of writing, and I like to do that. I'm not saying I'm any good at it. I'm just saying I like doing it with the comedy shorts, and I like putting together a story, and I like flushing out characters, and I like looking at different things and angles of doing it, and I like doing the camera shots and stuff like that. I'm a bit of a creative like that. When you're a creative, it's sometimes hard to get ideas. And the worst thing you can possibly do is force an idea. So you're like sat at your desk and you're just trying to think of an idea. And I've been doing that for quite a while, and I've not been able to come up with an idea for comedy short number 4. But I was lying in bed one night and it came to me, and I thought, shall I write it down? I can get out of my bed and I can write it down. But it was like 12:30 or so, and I was like, no, I don't want to write it down. I don't want to get out of bed. So I didn't write it down, but I've got it all locked in here and I need to write it down soon. But basically, I had a fantastic idea. I think it could work. It could work really well, or it could work pretty badly and maybe even insult a few people. But I think it will work really well. I do. I think it will work really well. But you've got to be careful. You know, doing these comedy shorts for me, sometimes with certain ideas, like I've not published ideas, or I've not told you ideas because I've actually thought they were a bit too closely cut then, but maybe a bit insulting or whatever. So, yeah, I've not like shared ideas like that, but you have to be careful. You have to be whether you're writing on TV shows or whatever, you have to be careful. And there's got to be a line. But I think it's cool. It's going to be called, there's one of 2 names, either Resellers Anonymous or Re-Educating Resellers. Re-Educating Resellers just came to me. I was like, yes, that's the name. So Resellers Anonymous or Re-Educating Resellers, but they're one of the 2. It won't be done for quite a while. It's not going to be anything soon. I've got to write a script. I've got to spend a little bit of time on it. I've got to flush out some of the characters. I've got to get to know the characters a little bit, because that's what I'm trying to do. Every comedy short, I'm trying to get my writing a little bit better. I'm trying to get my characters a little bit more well-developed and stuff like that. And every comedy short, it's seeming like I need more and more extras and people to participate in in the comedy shorts and stuff like that. But and also props. It seems like every comedy short I need more props. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna work through it. I'm gonna try and get some sort of script together. I've got the characters in mind. It should be pretty cool. But yeah, I think, yeah. So I just wanted to talk about it anyway. I won't ramble anymore. Mention Doctor Who. No, I'm not going to mention Doctor Who. Well, I have wrote it down here. Doctor Who, time-inspired motivation. 50-year-old self helps motivate me. I'm going to go over that in next week's episode because, yeah, I've been very, very ranty and rambly in this one. So I think that's something for next week. But what do you think I could mean by Doctor Who? Just put your answers in the chat now. What do you think I could mean from Doctor Who, time-inspired motivation? What could you come up with in your brain that matches what I'm thinking of in my brain? I can tell you it's very, very weird, but it is a motivation technique I use. You know, I really believe it. I really believe it works, you know? And yeah, it's like Doctor Who inspired. Right, anyway, I'll get this over here. I'll wait for a few of your hands. Oh, God, my feet. Oh, my back. I tell you what, after Thursday talks, I'm shattered. I'm shattered half the time. My voice is gone. You know, my back's aching. My feet are aching. Oh, God, I'm going to have to start sitting down for these soon, I think. Getting old now, you know. Getting old. Oh, it's terrible. Isn't it terrible when you get old? No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. I'm very well aware I'm young. I'm quite happy that I'm young. I'm very happy. Actually, every day I wake up and be like, oh my God, I'm still young. How cool. And honestly, you might think I'm joking, but I am actually being truthful. I actually wake up every day and think, oh yeah, well, maybe not every day, but most days I'll wake up and be like, oh, I'm young still. And it always makes me feel weird because I'm like, how can I still be young? It's like, God, I feel like I've been young forever. But yeah, anyway, I suppose that's good because then by the time I'm old, I'll have really like appreciated my youth. And it's quite a hard thing to do because when you're young, you can't really appreciate your youth because you're living it and you don't really know what you're doing. And you're a bit, not stupid, but what's the word? A bit, maybe dizzy is the word, but I don't think that's quite the right word. A bit naive, maybe naive, that's the word, naive. Keeping mini SNES for 50 years. Hop in the TARDIS to 2067 and sell it. Lol. I am out. Don't watch Doctor Who. No, we're not talking about Doctor Who. Don't worry. I feel like I have been old forever. I feel like I've been old forever. Oh, that's great. Also, I wanted to say, am I all right? I'm in the footage here. I'm in the shot. Yeah, I'm in the shot. I wanted to say, to look in the mirror and see me old. That is something that I'm not going to say I can't wait to happen because I can wait, you know, I'm quite happy being young, but I will be I feel quite content with when I can look in the mirror and I can look at myself and see my skin wrinkled and see my hands wrinkled because there's something for me about physical appearance of age that goes hand in hand with wisdom and intelligence. Now, that isn't always the case. I'm well aware of that. There's probably quite a lot of old people out there who don't have the same intelligence as someone, let's say, my age. But I feel that when you look old, you've got that wisdom. You know, you could have that wisdom inside you, most probably because you've lived for a long time. So when I get to a certain age, maybe say 70, I'll look in the mirror one day and I owe it to myself to just smile and just think, you know, I've got here, you know, I'm old. I'm the old one now. I have all the power. You know, I can just like, I can say that and then people will be like, and then I can just like say to me, look, I've lived longer than you. I've lived longer than you. I've been on this earth longer than you. You listen to me, you know, no, I'm joking. But, you know, there's a certain power, there's a certain wisdom that comes associated with someone who looks older, someone who is older. And that's what I kind of like. I like that bit of power, that little bit of wisdom, that little bit of even eccentricity in my case when I'm older. But yeah, that's always what I've liked. Right then, as the 16th Doctor and his sidekick Danielle, I'd love to be the Doctor, but I just don't think I could give a good enough performance, to be honest. like, I honestly would absolutely love to be the Doctor, and I would have an outfit. I have the personality for it and everything, but I just don't think I'm that good of an actor. Well, I'm not even trained in acting, but I just don't think I would give as much as a performance as needed. You know what would happen? I would be more ads than the Doctor. I would just be ads. I would just be me as the Doctor, and that's not the Doctor. So, you know, I can't do it, unfortunately. You know, I can always be ads and think of myself as a Time Lord if I want to be fictional or whatever, but, you know, sneezing and keeping your teeth in is an art when you're sneezing and keeping your teeth in is an art when you're older. Oh my god. Hi ads, I'm new to you're not new to reselling, Sib K. You've been on the chats for ages. What are you saying? Look, mate, you've been on the chats for 6 months or more. Well, that's kind of new to reselling, but not that new. I'm new to reselling. What are your thoughts on Doctor Who? No, I'm not going to go into that. Yeah, but also that just makes it, yeah, so Sib K, you are going to be entered in for the giveaway because you've been on my channel for quite a while. Southwest Sellers, I'm just going through the chat and seeing who's entering in for the giveaway. Southwest Sellers, Gary, you're entered in for the giveaway. We've got Glitter Sunflower, you're entered in. Jason, I'll have a think whether you are or not. I think I've seen you for quite a while in my chat, so you might be entered in. Blitz, you're going to be entered in. You've been in my chats for a while. Hitman UK, you can be entered in. Paul, you're entered in. Paul Mosley. I'm terrible with names, sorry. Where are we? Where are we? I'm not sure. Will you take less? Do you think? What does anyone think? Will you take less? Should he be? I'm assuming it's a he. Should he be entered in to the giveaway? I think I've seen him quite a lot in my chat, so I think it's fair. Adam Butterworth, I've seen you in quite a few of my chats, so you can go into the giveaway. Paul Foster, definitely you're getting in there. You're going into the giveaway. Right, sorry, I'm just going up still. God, we've got a lot of chat going on. Derek Payne, you're in the giveaway. Who else? Oh, God. Andy Robinson, you're in the giveaway. Peter Ray, you're in the giveaway. Shell Steve Rooney, you're in the giveaway. Neil is in the giveaway, who was in before. Kirsten is in the giveaway. Kaylee, I think I've seen Kaylee in quite a few chats. I'll have a think about her, see whatever I want to in the giveaway. Dr. Doodle Doo, he can, I think it's a he can go in the giveaway. And Andy Robinson can go in the giveaway. So that's some of the people who will be in the giveaway. Oh, and Chelsea and Dave Rowland has just joined. So Dave Rowland, you can be in the giveaway, and Chelsea can be in the giveaway. So yeah, that's everyone. So, well, I mean, there's a few other people who I'm going to include as well. But what I'm going to do now after the live chat is I'm going to go through the chat and write all those names down for the giveaway, because I want there to be as many people who participate in the live stream and on the comments as possible. I want them to be the people in the giveaway. So I know it's kind of a bit dictatorish, me just going through and saying, well, you're the one who's going to be in the giveaway and you're the one who isn't. But it's the way I am able to pick the most notable people who deserve to be in that giveaway. And then I'm not just giving away things to scammers or, well, not scammers, but like, you know, trolls and stuff like that. So yeah. I am a male. Oh, I am a male. What? I am. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. I am a male. Jude, I thought so in the way you spoke. Since a unicycle accident in '78. Oh my! What? I am a male. Just since a unicycle. I don't even want to know what that means, but it's there. Should only be entered into the comp if he doesn't share his dodgy jokes. Few got me worried. No, it's all right, Chelsea. You're in there. Yeah, Dave is in there as well. So yeah, we're cool. We're cool. I am going low. No, it's not about like whether you only just got here or anything like that, Dave. It's about on like the whole, like who has been most active over the past like 91 weeks of me doing this. Now I would include people like there was people in the start like Garden Speed and stuff like that, and there's loads of other people who've come and gone along the way, but they've been gone for quite a while now. So unless they're still watching, I don't know, but so that's why I've not included them. But yeah, so I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please do give it a like down below. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the old YouTube channel. And I will be back with a sales update very, very shortly. And yeah, there's nothing else that needs to be said. I think I need to go downstairs and get Electra some food. Then I've got my granddad coming, then I've got to get on with FBA, and then finally I might be able to do some eBay items. Can I speak any faster? I do not know. But yeah, we will see you in the next one, guys. Thank you very much. Bye.